Let's be honest, if you're a parent today, you're in a fight you never really signed up for. A fight against some of the smartest people in the world who are designing algorithms to hook your kids. It's overwhelming, and it's scary. Well, if you've ever felt that pit in your stomach, a recent landmark decision has just proven you were right all along.
For years, that deep-seated fear you've had about social media, it was kind of brushed off as just, parental anxiety. Well, not anymore. In a huge verdict, a jury held platforms like Meta and Google liable for the harm a young woman suffered. This isn't just some hypothetical risk anymore. It's a legal precedent that validates what parents have been feeling for a decade.
And listen to the language the jury used here, because it's absolutely crucial. They didn't just blame one bad post or some viral challenge. No, they pointed the finger directly at the very design of the apps, the infinite scroll, the autoplay features, the way algorithms push certain content. The system itself, engineered from the ground up to grab and hold our attention, was finally put on trial.
And look, this isn't just happening in a courtroom. It's a full-blown public health crisis. The CDC has been tracking this, and the numbers are staggering. We're seeing a huge spike in persistent sadness, hopelessness, and even suicidal thoughts among teens. It's gotten so bad, the U.S. Surgeon General issued a formal warning saying social media just can't be considered safe for kids. The dots are all connecting.
So, what are you supposed to do? It's a totally natural reaction, right? When you're faced with a threat this big, your first instinct is to lock everything down, to monitor, to control. And that leads us straight to what we call the surveillance solution. And of course, a whole industry has sprung up, ready to sell you on this idea. Apps like Bark or mSpy, they promise this, all-seeing eye. They'll monitor dozens of apps, flag scary keywords, track your kid's location, you name it. They're selling a powerful idea, a feeling of control in the middle of all this digital chaos, a way to finally keep your child safe. But there's a hidden cost to all this control. And that hidden cost is what we call the trust tax. It's the unintended consequence of this surveillance-first approach. The very tool you bought to bring you peace of mind can actually backfire and create a whole new set of problems you never saw coming.
So first, let's just talk about the practical stuff. As you'll hear from parents on forums all the time, these apps have massive blind spots. Encrypted chats on WhatsApp? Nope, can't see them. You get slammed with alert fatigue from dozens of false alarms just for normal teen slang. And kids, well, they get smarter. They learn what words trigger the alerts, and they just find clever ways around them. The promise of total control, it's really just an illusion.
But the real cost, the true tax, it isn't technical, it's emotional. Just listen to this from a teen user named Harmony. Surveillance doesn't create safety, it creates secrecy. It turns your relationship into this stressful game of cat and mouse, and it just eats away at the very trust you need to actually guide them. You're left with a kid who feels more isolated, not more protected.
Okay, so if total control is a myth, and just doing nothing feels completely irresponsible, is there a third way, a different path? The answer is yes, and it's all about shifting your mindset away from fear and control and towards mentorship, guidance, and collaboration.
Now, this new way of thinking is actually being built into a whole different category of tools. For example, a platform called MyChoice isn't trying to be another spy app. It's actually designed to do the exact opposite, to build trust by making technology a conversation you have together, not a secret battleground.
And here's the fundamental difference. It really comes down to the question you're asking. Surveillance apps are obsessed with what? What are they typing? What sites are they looking at? But a mentorship approach asks how? How are they doing? How are their online habits and moods changing? It's a massive shift from policing their content to focusing on their well-being.
So how is that even possible? It's through something called behavioral signals. Okay, think of it like a smoke detector. It doesn't need to know what's on fire to tell you there's smoke. Instead of reading their private messages, the system just analyzes the patterns around them, like a sudden spike in late-night activity or a huge change in how much they're messaging. It gives you a heads up that something has shifted without ever violating their privacy.
This whole approach is built on a really simple, repeatable loop for turning that data into an actual productive dialogue. It's just called see, talk, agree. First, you see. But this isn't a long log of every single thing they did. It's a high-level wellness dashboard. It gives you a quick health score, it gives you priority alerts, and it highlights patterns. It might tell you, hey, the algorithm is really shaping your child's feed right now, not here's a transcript of their DMs. It's all about understanding, not spying.
Next, you talk. The platform doesn't just dump a bunch of data on you and say, good luck. It actually helps turn those signals into real conversation starters. It has AI-powered coaching to help you bring these topics up in a constructive way. It's designed to turn what could be a huge fight into a conversation so you can explore what's happening together. And finally, you agree. This is where that understanding turns into action. But instead of you just imposing rules from the top down, you create shared agreements together. You can even see the little badges here, co-created, both signed. These are promises, not punishments, and they're directly connected to the data you both just looked at.
So that's the loop. Simple, right? You see the behavioral patterns, not the private content, you talk about what it means with a little help, and you agree on a path forward as a team. It's a process that builds that muscle of communication and strengthens trust every time you use it.
And this all leads to the much bigger picture. Because this isn't just about surviving the teenage years, it's about preparing our kids for the rest of their lives. It's about raising an AI-ready kid.
The ultimate purpose here is empowerment. Let's be real, the goal was never to control your teenagers every single click online. The real goal is to give them the tools and the self-awareness to manage their own relationship with technology responsibly, long after they've moved out. We are preparing them for a future that will be almost completely shaped by AI. And in that world, the most critical skills won't be about following rules. They'll be about being self-aware, about recognizing when technology is influencing you, and about having the resilience to make conscious choices. That's the real objective. So, we want to leave you with this one question to think about. In this new age of algorithms and AI, is our job to be the gatekeeper, constantly building higher walls and stronger locks? Or is our job to be the guide, walking alongside our kids, teaching them how to navigate this complicated, sometimes scary, but also amazing world ahead? The choice ultimately is ours.